Hey guys, Darren here with a box review of 1990-91 Fleer basketball. This box is not in perfect condition, as you can see. It's actually in pretty decent condition overall. But this is a box where, interestingly, had this been 3 years ago, this would have been a $500 box. I ended up getting this for about $60, which is still insanely high. But I was curious. I was really curious to see kind of what it would be like. Kind of here's what my thinking. I haven't opened one of these boxes since 1991. That's probably the last time I opened one. And, well, I never opened a box, but opened packs of them. I think about 91 was the last time I did that. And so I was curious, what's it like for somebody who goes out and spends $500 on one of these boxes? What are the cards like? Well, first off, I did get a complete set, so that's good. But the centering on these cards is abysmal. So Chris Livingston here, not too bad. It's decent. With Moses Malone, it's pretty good. But then you can see from Kenny Smith, it's just in really bad shape. And let's just jump ahead to the big question mark, which of course is Jordan. The best of the cards I pulled out here for the set, and this is the centering that I've got on the Michael Jordan. This is the best centering that I got of all three of the cards I got in this box. Pretty lacking. But then that's the whole point. That's why people were spending so much on the box, because if they got one that was perfectly centered, they were going to make a fortune. But throughout the box, almost all the cards were poorly centered. And so what this got me into thinking was that whole, man, if I'd opened this about 10 years ago, I could have bought a whole bunch of these dirt cheap and actually put together a centered set, which would have been fun. But that being said, these aren't exactly the most impressive card designs ever, and that's why I never even thought about it, because the way that the card is designed, for me, I've never gotten the aesthetic appeal to it. You know, red, white, and blue, I like the idea of that, but it's just the lines are too thin, they're too soft, they don't match together, they're jarring. The whole theme down at the bottom doesn't feel like it ties across to anything. The card back with its, Fleer was still doing these single color card backs. For me, when I was starting out in cards, I started out in basketball, and Fleer was the other set, and I just kind of got it done to get it out of the way. And unfortunately, as I was going through the packs and opening the cards, that's how I was feeling. I was thinking about the end result of the set. And you can see from these cards that the centering isn't exactly helping out. It just kind of exacerbated the problem. So, like right here, Terry Teagle. This is the first card I've encountered where it's actually almost perfectly centered. And it's so rare to see it. So not only do they, for me personally, look cheap, they are cheap. I mean, look, the fact that the centering is so ridiculous in this release is kind of surprising. Now, it'd been such a long time since I'd opened these packs. I was curious about the inserts, because they're all-stars and they're rookies. They're rookie sensations, and the all-star cards are not one per pack, but they're plentiful enough that it's easy to get them. And so I got Sir Chuck, I got Larry Bird, I got The Dream, I got Magic, I got Karl Malone, and I got Tom Chambers. I also got doubles of Sir Chuck and of Akeem Olajuwon. So that's how I ended up with the set 2, 4, 6. So I got half of the cards in the set, plus 2 doubles, but I didn't get Larry Bird and I did not get Michael Jordan from this box for the All-Stars. The rookie sensations, I guess, are in, whether it's jumbo packs or rack packs. I don't know how the other release was. I assume they're over there, so I didn't get any of those. But again, this was kind of a discovery process for me. Now, there are, as you can see, a whole ton of doubles. And I got within 17 cards of a second set, which is a long ways away with this many cards. As far as the doubles go, though, I got doubles of every single star. So I got 2 more Neeks, I got 1 more Larry Bird, I got 2 more Jordans, and again, you can see just how terrible the centering is on these cards. I got another Scottie Pippen, I got 2 more Joe Dumars, another Dennis Rodman, 3 Isaiah Thomases, I got 2 Tim Hardaways, Chris Mullin I got 2, Richmond I got 1, The Dream I got 2, Reg, I got 2. With Magic, I got 2 more. Ewing, I got 2. Sir Chuck, I got 2 more. 1 extra Clyde Drexler. The Admiral, I got 2, including 1 double that is almost perfectly centered. I mean, this is a card. It's just a little bit too high. The top band is a little bit too thin. That's the only problem. Otherwise, this double of Robinson is surprisingly good centering for this set. 2 extra Sean Kemps, or excuse me, 3 extra Sean Kemps, as well as 1 Karl Malone and 3 more Stocktons. And this Stockton is, well, both of these Stocktons are actually, they're just a little bit too high. And it actually becomes kind of like a celebration whenever you get a card that is almost or even completely centered, because the centering is so terrible on this super cheap crap release of cards. And I don't know why Fleer, even in 1990, and to a lesser extent in 1991, kept cranking out cheap cards. I understand why Topps did it, because that's just Topps mentality, but the fact that Fleer was already getting surpassed by Hoops, and then by 1991 they were already getting surpassed by Skybox, you would think that they'd put some energy into making better cards, but they didn't. And that's the problem that this card set has, is the fact that whether you like the card design or not, whether you like the images or not, one thing you got to admit, they're so poorly made that it is really a celebration when you get them to come out right. So that means that opening a box of this is more a curiosity of what you get, as opposed to a hope for something to be good. You got to open a lot of these boxes, and they're still obscenely expensive. There's just not a lot to the set. They didn't even bother to do subsets. They didn't do rookies. They weren't doing those yet. There's a lot that they could have done to improve this release, but they didn't. It's very simplistic. So the main thing I wanted to do in opening this is to get a feel for, well, what's it like to open a box of 1990-91 Fleer basketball when you're paying insane prices. And again, I got it for $60, and as far as I'm concerned, that is an obscene price. And what I got was exactly what I expected. A set where even the actual set of the best cards that I pulled out are really lackluster all over the map. They feel cheap. They feel second rate. You've really, to me, for the price they're currently at the time I'm doing this video, you've got to want to try to swing for the fences. I hope that the prices come down significantly so they can become fun again, because that's really the best thing about these types of boxes, is when they're fun and you're curious about, oh, I wonder what I got, as opposed to, well, if I'm spending this kind of money, I got to get something worthwhile. This box isn't quite there yet, but hopefully it'll continue to drop and we'll get to that point. So yeah, I guess that's what I got to say. So thank you guys for watching.